Hello and welcome in to the Around the Ice podcast. Starting a few minutes late. Had some internet issues. We had to do some restarts and stuff, but we're all up and running again. We're good to go now. Few minutes late, but we're here for all the action. Thanks for joining us, Fantasy and Frames Around the Ice podcast. I'm your host Justin Taylor at JT Orange on the X. With me is Brian Toast Clark at Toast Clark and Aaron Tomatich at Titch4141. Fellas, let's not mess around. Let's get right into it. We've got some late night games. Good mix of late night action tonight. Let's get into some of these late night bets before we get crazy going. Here we go. Hold on.
You gonna give me my money? Where's my money, man?
All right, Toast, start us off here. What are we looking like here? It's 9:42 Eastern, 8:42 Central Time. Got a bunch of late night action. What are we looking at? Anything we got for the peoples to throw in on these late night action?
Yeah. So if you can, the Lightning and Avalanche are just getting ready to get started. That's a little bit delayed. I think they're to the HBO TNT game tonight. That game for Hurricanes and Rangers just wrapped up, and man, the Rangers, what a shit show. I mean, it's just bad right now. But if you can get that game in, But we also actually have the Panthers at the Ducks tonight. We actually have Red Wings at Golden Knights, and we actually have the Jets at the Kings. These are all games that start 10 Eastern or later. But there's JT, I tell you, this is the best games on the card for me tonight. I really like these games for some bets. That Florida Anaheim, we could actually cover that real quick if you like, but there's three things I actually like in that game. Is the Ducks money line. The Ducks, I don't know why the Ducks are actually underdogs in their own house, considering Florida's banged up, shorthanded, and Anaheim's playing unbelievable hockey behind their new coach, Joe Glenville. Leo Carlson's been a man possessed so far. The young 21-year-old off to an unbelievably hot start. I like him for a point and a Brad Marchand assist as well. Those three, so Ducks money line, Leo Carlson point, and a Brad Marchand assist, and Marchand's actually been carrying that team offensively so far. JT, Aaron, is there any of those that you like, or is there any additional you actually like in that Florida at Anaheim game?
I got a crazy 4-team parlay. I'm just taking straight games here, no player props. You know what? I saw that Ducks line, and I'm like, I feel like they were talking me into trying to take the Ducks. I really felt like I was getting talked in. So I went the opposite direction, though I do feel like you probably should take the Ducks, especially getting plus at home with how well they've been playing. I went this way, and I have to be honest, this is a total gut call by me. Total gut call. I don't know if the stats really back this up at all, but this is just my gut pick. Sometimes I like to take these. I just go, what's first impression? Boom, 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 right off the bat and take it. I got Avalanche, money line, minus 145. Red Wings, money line, plus 160. Jets, money line, plus 115. Panthers, money line, minus 160. 4-pick money line parlay right now is 1434. So plus 1,434. I got two dogs in there. I also have a home favorite and a road favorite. So it's a little bit of a mix up here. And again, I'm just going straight gut feeling on this one. I look at these, I'm like, I don't know if these are the smartest picks ever, but I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go boom, 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 right down the line. What do I like? I'm taking it. That's what I got. So I got Avalanche minus 145, Red Wings plus 160. They've been on a tear. Jets plus 115, and Panthers minus 160, plus 1434 right now for those four. Aaron, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, kicking up right about what you had said, Toast. Starting with that Anaheim game, number one, like all the bets, like what both you came up with on that. I like JT though. I am going straight games. I got no player parlays tonight, but in terms of the Florida Anaheim game, I'm taking the over on that, over 6.5 goals. Dostal's played well, but Bobrovsky has not played like himself. Both teams coming into this, you guys had talked about it. Ducks 7-2-1 in their last 10. Panthers 4-5-1. As we mentioned, the injury bug has bitten them. So, but I'm going the over. Again, Anaheim needs some help on defense, but they sure can score. Opposite, a little bit more defensive structure there with Florida, but again, you got a high flying Anaheim team that's pretty good. So I like that. The more goals, the better. Vegas Golden Knights. I am taking a goal. I'm sorry, I'm taking money line. So I'm going opposite JT. I know that's your boys, but Detroit traveling out west. First time the teams are meeting. I don't know. We'll see. Detroit's been playing. They played really, really good hockey for a while, but when they're off, they're way off. So started off the season bad, had a really good streak. Probably broke off, 6 or 7 wins. And I hate that. Well, I don't hate it. I shouldn't say that. But yeah, it's everywhere. It's overdone now. But they broke off a few wins in a row, and they looked really good. And then again, they kind of fell apart there. But road team, I usually like Vegas. They play in their own barn. Well, who doesn't play well in their own barn? But Vegas especially. So I'm taking money line Vegas. And then last bet, Winnipeg and Jets. Now Winnipeg, I'm taking the 1.5. That came at a little, kind of hurt my 3-legger here, only to a, what is that, plus 337 when it's all said and done. So again, nothing too crazy. I just typical like this pod is. I fall somewhere in between the kind of Toast printing his money with his Toast takes, and then the JT 1100 plus 1100 parlay there. So yeah, I same thing. I avoided the player parlays tonight. I think some of the earlier games might have been a little juicy on that. I didn't put anything on that. I just got these late games. So let's go gold.
Yeah, JT, I want you to make an adjustment on yours. Okay.
All right.
I got a better gut feeling. So take the Ducks at home on the money line.
I'm gonna put it in on a different site just because it makes me feel better. I don't like it if you put it on the same site. I'm like, I feel like I'm going against myself. I know I'm still going against myself, but it's the mental thing that if I put it on a different site, it doesn't feel like a win or a loss. I'm like, oh no, I won that one outright, even if I lost on the other site. So yes, give it to me, Toast. Here we go.
Yeah, and don't sprinkle a lot of don't put a lot of money on this. So you're going to sprinkle a little, but go ahead and go with the Ducks on the money line.
All right, I like it.
The Lightning and Avalanche, go with the draw right now. So go for OT. Avalanche have actually went to overtime there. They got 7-1-5. And I tell you what, man, overtime games in NHL have been very popular over the last week. We got 2 more tonight actually going overtime. The Lightning actually had an awful start to the season. They've actually reeled off some wins here. I like them to go into a tough environment, push overtime. It's going to be a close game, I think. I really like the draw there. Red Wings.
Go OT is plus 310.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, like
so you're gonna put in a lotto ticket here.
I like it. All right, keep us rolling here. Give me before these get started. I don't want to lose out on this.
Yep. So and then Red Wings, go the plus 1.5. The Red Wings have actually been awesome on the reverse puck line lately. And then of course you can go ahead and go Jets right at LA. There's no reason the Jets should be the dog there at the Kings. The Kings are actually minus 135. That's stupid. I guarantee that's going to yield you what, plus 3,000?
Plus 3,402. I am freaking all in on this. I love this. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So do that. But before we got a minute here or so, because they're still screwing around in HBO there and TNT. I'm going to go ahead and give my large parlay of the day. This is kind of my lotto parlay of the day. It's on Toast Takes. You can find it at FIF Hockey almost every day. I've been slacking of late the last couple of days. But I like McKinnon for 2 points tonight. He has actually done unbelievably well in his career versus the Lightning. Eichel for 2 points as well. I just think these guys are at home. They're going to be awesome. And when you get Eichel for 2 points, you got to get Marner for an assist. Okay, so you got Marner for an assist as well. He's got 11 or 12 of them this year. It's near the top of the league. I love that Leo Carlsson point. You get that Leo Carlsson point, a Brad Marchand assist, and a Mark Scheifele assist as well. Scheifele is a man possessed right now. We need to talk about Scheifele tonight a little bit in the podcast. So I got, again, McKinnon and Eichel for 2 points each. Marner, Marchand, and Scheifele for assists, and Leo Carlsson for a point. you're going to get that for plus 4,050. And you got that on DraftKings tonight. So that is the Toast parlay of the day. If you want my can't lose parlay, and you're still going to get it for a decent price, plus 384, you can get McKinnon for 2 points and Eichel for 2 points by themselves. Just have a good feeling about that tonight. Really like it. But JT, I'm liking yours even more. That second ticket you just put in, that is a good lotto ticket to put in. Sprinkle 10 on it. Win yourself a little bit of money.
I love that one. And I can't even believe we got through this without talking about Titch's guy. Dorofiev. 9 goals already this year. 9 goals. Every game I watch, I'm like, this dude's going to score again. This is Aaron Tomajich's guy. Killing it. I'm sure we'll get into it later. No player props on him tonight, but he's probably going to make us regret that because we didn't take him. Toast, you guys tell me what else you got because I got to really quickly jump in and tail your bet real fast.
Yeah, the only other bet I actually have, again, I put a lotto goal parlay in tonight. It's not going to go. I've been super cold with those. Normally, I'm actually a lot better with the goals, but I had Schaefer for a goal, Johansson from Minnesota with a goal. And I tell you what, if you want to sprinkle in a little bit of money tonight on a good goal prop, I think, just by itself, I tell you what, man, Perry, he's the guy we all actually hate for the Kings, though, but he has been really, really hot. He is really he's shooting at a high percentage of late. He's actually getting about 15 minutes time on ice. I actually love Perry for a goal tonight. I think you can get around plus 340.
Nice. I like it. Fantastic. So jump in. You got just a couple minutes left. Jump on those. In case you want to rewind and look at that, jump on Twitter, the X, go to at FIF Hockey or at Toast Clark. You can see at Toast Takes. You can get all there. He threw those in there. So those are good ones. Jump in there. Check them out. Let's go around the ice real quick here, fellas, before we get going into more action.
Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
So a lot of action tonight. Breaking down some of the early games. I tell you what, guys, maybe it's just me. I feel like this has been one of the better starts to the NHL season in a long time. I feel like there's a lot of good games, a lot of teams in the mix. I feel like sometimes we're like 10, 15 games in, we're like, half these teams are dog shit. It doesn't matter. We're already out on them. But we're seeing a lot of good hockey. And what's exciting is we're seeing a lot of the young teams that we know aren't quite there yet, but they're pretty exciting. We're seeing some young guys put up some really nice games early on. So far tonight, right now we got OT, Montreal, Philadelphia, tied at 4-4. Montreal's been – we were all on them in the preseason. We love what we're getting out of Montreal. They've looked good so far. Edmonton, Dallas right now is 2-1. Heading into the third. Minnesota's 2-1 over Nashville. Heading into the third. I tell you what, is anything better than late night hockey? We got all kinds of action. This is the way to do it late night. Tampa Bay, Colorado just dropped the puck. So hopefully you got your bets in if you're going there. Ducks, Panthers start here in about 5 minutes. Jets, Kings, we're about 35 minutes from the start of that one. And the Wings, Knights start also here in about 4-5 minutes. What do you guys think about what you've seen so far tonight? Really good game between Montreal and Philadelphia. Philadelphia has been surprising to me. They've been a lot better than I thought. They're like kind of that like lunch pail dirty team. They like kind of been sticking with people. Every time I've been betting against them, I'm like, they're going to get rocked. They're in the mix. So I'm like, I got to reevaluate my pick on the Flyers. But I tell you what, Montreal has looked really good. And as I say that, the Flyers win it in the shootout in overtime, 5-4. They get the shootout winner. Flyers with the upset, 5-4 over Montreal, who came in the game 9-3. Flyers came at 6-5-1.
Yeah, the Montreal looked back at that game and realized that was a bad loss. I understand the Flyers actually do have that lunch pail mentality. They had John Tortorella as a coach last year. They replaced him with Rick Tocchet, who, in my opinion, just kind of looking at the statistics and actually looking at the body of work of both coaches and stuff, it's like the same person. And maybe even Tocchet's actually Tortorella on steroids. You know what I mean? The Flyers are up 3-0 in this game super early. Canadians actually come back, storm back, and take the lead 4-3. And then the Flyers actually tack on 2 late goals, actually win it, and then win it in overtime as well. But there's one guy on the Flyers, besides Travis Konecny, who is actually unbelievably hot as he is right now, and he's been really, really good. Man, Matvei Michkov is actually just lost right now. And it's almost like John Tortorella 2.0 at the beginning of the season last year, where he doesn't play any defense. They actually don't really like the whole body of work. The whole 200-foot game is actually not there. Mistakes galore, and he's just not getting rewarded with the ice time. And man, his statistics actually show it. This is a guy who really should be paced with Ivan Demidov. And we'll talk about Demidov in the same game where Demidov gets a goal and assist tonight. Has really, really been good. He's leading rookies in all points, and he should be the Calder winner, unless Matthew Schaefer has something to say about that. But I'm just wondering, Aaron, what would you actually do, and what would your advice actually be in the event that you had Michkov and it was actually a redraft league? Would you actually be selling low and actually just trying to shed him, or would you actually say, no, I need to hold on to him and see what actually is going to come?
No, I think in a redraft league, no, I dump him. I give up. I mean, the rumor was he was out of shape coming into camp.
He's fat.
Yeah. And there's nothing that, if you watch a Flyers game beginning to end, and I did not watch this when I chose to watch Utah. Utah Buffalo.
Mammoth Sabres.
Yes.
Utah Mammoths versus the Buffalo Sabres. That one was a 2-1 Mammoth victory in overtime, with Clayton Keller getting the winning goal in OT. Mammoth 9-4. Really nice start of the year for them. Sabres 5-4-4.
Yeah. I chose to watch them. I got as you know, special interest in Utah. We got a lot of players on the various fantasy leagues that we're in. But no, to the original question, I couldn't agree more with what you said about Michkov in the slow start. What do I do with him in a redraft league? I get rid of him now. I cut my losses. I just don't see any redeeming quality. I'd like to watch a Flyer. I almost said Phillies. I'd like to watch a Flyers game beginning to end, and just watch the ice time. When's he getting on the ice? What line is he skating with? Who are his line mates? Like, what is Tocchet doing with him? Like, again, to your point with Tortorella, like, what's the pedigree with Tocchet and rookies? And he's not a rookie. I mean, this is his second year. Tortorella had him as a rookie, but I really expected better, more high flying goal scoring, especially when they went out and got Zegras, which scored on the shootout winner. Zegras is one of those Michigan goal type guys. He's had a ton of assists this year. He's having a pretty good season with Philly, a kind of a resurgence for your boy Zegras there. So, yeah. I mean, right now, as it looks right now, the Flyers towards the bottom, but they're only a few points out. Like, it's so stacked, it's so close there in the Metro that they 13 points and the Penguins and the Devils are at 18. So they're 5 points off the lead, which and then with tonight's win, they're 7-3 in their last 10. So that's the Flyers. So to your point, JT, yeah, they started off, stumbled out of the blocks, but they've looked okay. They're right there with, the Capitals and the Islanders, and the Islanders have beaten some good teams, and then they've played like dog shit. But yeah, I don't know. I think I sell on him. Now, it's completely different if you're in a keeper league or a dynasty league. Maybe you just kind of eat it on this season and hope he can find some chemistry halfway through about that November, December mark, and see what Mitchie can do then. But yeah, like you said, to your point, it should have been totally expected a Demidov type season, and he seems to be figuring it out, where Michkov is just not there. It's just not what we saw last year.
Let me ask you guys. So I don't want to make this a Matt Vay Mitchkoff podcast here, but as we talk about these games that are going on tonight, it just lends the opportunity to actually talk about these players from a fantasy perspective too. Tell me if you would actually, who's getting the better end of this trade?
Sure.
Clayton Keller and Matt Vay Mitchkoff for Nikita Kucherov straight up in a dynasty keeper league.
Wow. I'd say off the cuff, I probably want Kucherov. How old is he? Is he 30?
32. He's probably got 3-4 more really solid years left.
He's a freaking Russian. He can play forever.
Yeah,
I'm a Kucherov, man. If you're contending at all, I mean, maybe you sell Kucherov if you're like, man, I like have no shot. Can I sell those two guys and maybe get a draft pick for a 3-for-1 on Kucherov? I could see that. But man, if I'm in the mix at all, I want Kucherov. Toast, me and you've seen it.
Yeah.
We've had years where like all of a sudden Kucherov just starts going off and we go from like middling team to like, oh, we're in the mix. If he keeps playing this well, we're going to freaking challenge for the title. So, I mean, he's a guy that can switch it that quickly because with the points he can put up. He's already got a goal tonight, unassisted early on here right away in this Colorado game. He's already put one in. So, man, it's hard to pass up that high-end talent. I know Keller, I like him a lot. Young guy. Yeah. Both of those guys, young guys, good. If I could get those two guys and maybe like a second or third round pick, maybe I'll make the move if I'm like in a dynasty that I'm trying to like work my way up. But, man, I want Kucherov probably 9 times out of 10. I probably want Kucherov.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with everything you said, JT. If it's a dynasty league, maybe I hesitate because of the just the age factor, depending on the rest of the season. But if I'm potentially a contender or I'm in the top half of my dynasty league and I will make the playoffs more than likely, like instead of Kucherov, if you would have said McKinnon, McDavid, Austin Matthews, I think it would have been a no-brainer. And Kucherov is just as elite as those three guys. So I pulled the trigger on that one in a second. Dynasty, maybe I hesitate a little. Maybe I get a draft pick or something from the well, I don't know. I guess you could say draft pick on either way. I don't know that I'd give up Kucherov, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. The dynasty, I'd probably have to at least think about it, but I'd probably still think the team that gets Kucherov gets the edge. He's just that good. But no, that's a good one.
Okay. Yeah. And listeners, if you guys are there and actually, use the comment box there and give us your thoughts on exactly what you'd want. Again, do you want Keller and Michkov, or do you want Kucherov in a dynasty league? And it's a dynasty bangers league as well. So who do you actually want? JT, can we pivot over to just talking briefly that game tonight? Hurricanes go into New York Rangers and beat them 3-0. It begs the question as well. The Rangers can't get out of their own way. This seems just like last year 2.0. If you got shares of Panarin, if you actually got shares of Shesterkin, and you're actually also maybe waiting for a Vinny Trocheck to actually come back on injury. He should be coming back here in the next couple of days. What do you do with these Rangers guys right now? Or is it time to actually maybe move on from them? Again, want to get your guys' thoughts on, who would be a good trade off the top of your head? Who would you actually move either one of these guys? Or would you move them? Would you move a Panarin right now in any format?
Man, I'd be considering it. I know we got JT Miller in a couple leagues. I got JT Miller in the listeners league, and I'm like, usually he's like, oh, he's a play. I'm like, every time I'm looking at him, I'm like, if I have a full roster, I'm like, am I playing him or am I playing someone else? Like, that's a little scary right now. Like, the fact that I'm even considering, like, should I get him in there because how bad they are? That to me is a problem. And I think it's going to get worse with all these guys. I think you want to try to move these guys now if you can before everyone else in your league realizes that the Rangers aren't very good. And you're like, are they going to score a lot of points? Or is this going to be one of those teams that are like, if they win, they're winning like 1-0, 2-1 every night as everyone else scores 3, 4, 5 goals a night. None of your guys are giving you points. I'm really worried about this Rangers team. The record isn't horrible, but they don't look good, right? They're 6-6-2 right now in a crazy tough conference and division. This team feels like, and we've seen it before, where it's like they were on the verge. You're like, dude, I can see the tumble coming. I do not feel good about any of my Rangers players right now, any of them in fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a guy like Shesterkin as well, and just not. I mean, we all know how elite he is and how great he is, right? I mean, he's one of the top 3 goalies in the entire world. When would be the last time you would think about maybe sitting a guy like Shesterkin at home? Going up against the Canes, you would never sit Shesterkin at home, even in the one. But tonight, you'd have to. Actually, it was confronted with a question earlier today, like, who do I actually play? And this is somebody I was actually chatting with, Vemelka or Shesterkin and whatnot. And Vemelka is actually for Utah and actually going into Buffalo. And I'm like, you play Vemelka tonight,
right? Yes.
And how many times would you have said that, right? But that's just where you're at right now, and that just kind of shows you where the Rangers are. And man, it is amazing how. I mean, was it 2 years ago that the Rangers actually were the President's Trophy winner? And then they started off last year, I think, like 9-3, super hot. And again, as soon as the rumors actually started, they were actually trying to move some people and actually shop some people, and they got leaked out into the press, and it really started creating a lot of tension. It has been a shit show since then. I mean, just a completely different team all the way around. I do wonder when Vinny Trocheck actually comes back, he provides so much for that team as well. If that'll be kind of a little bit of the boost they actually need to kind of even things out. I mean, and really get guys to actually settle into these lines right now, because right now, whatever they actually have going here, and they've moved him around quite a bit, it ain't working. Alexis Lafreniere, where are you? Where are you? We me and JT got a shares of him actually in a dynasty league as well. And a guy who just a year and a half ago, you're like, man, this guy is just really starting to actually learn and put it together, and just crickets now and nothing. And it's been that way for a long time.
Yeah, and especially him. That's a good one to kind of end the Rangers rant on. Is yeah, I mean, he's so up and down and just not stable in any way, shape, or form. No consistency with him. I look at the bot, like I'm on the Rangers lines right now. The line combinations. The bottom 6 is atrocious. Like these guys, I mean, they can't hold the league. They can't check. They can't. All the good stuff Will Cooley was doing last year, he didn't. He's regressing. So, original question: what do I do with the Rangers, guys? Scrap all the rags. Scrap them all. Trade them all. Bundle them all. Get them out of town. I don't care about Vincent Trocheck. Dude, they're 0-5-1 at home. They haven't won a home game yet.
That's embarrassing.
They always win at Madison Square Garden. All of their wins have come on the road. Well, that's going to catch up with you. Nobody plays above 500 on the road. What is going on? So no, I hate them all. Get rid of them. Trade them all before, like you said, before somebody gets wise to it. Get Shesterkin out. He's going to face about 10 million shots a night. He's going to get tired. They put all their money, their cap money, in his pocket. Good luck. I mean, that's a long road. And if they don't either decide, okay, let's do a rolling rebuild or let's just burn the thing down and restart, then this is going to be a rinse and repeat for the Rangers for a long time. I just don't see anything in the prospects or young guys or anything. I flip the channel when that team is on. That's how sick I am about them. So get them out of there.
Yeah, they seem like
Well
a
said.
team that like they hit the top end and they kind of knew like, oh, I think we just maxed ourselves, because that's when, like Toast said, they started talking about like trading guys. You're like, whoa, you were just the top team in the league last year. And I think they realized like we might have played better than we actually are. And they started looking at the guys on their roster and they're like, and so they started looking around. And then the problem was they didn't just go out and like hammer, boom, trade, and rebuild. They were like half doing it, like thinking about it. And then everybody realized what they're doing. And I was like, I'm not going to give you a bunch for that guy. I'm not going to give you a bunch for that guy. I'm not going to eat that contract. And they got stuck. And now I feel like they're in no man's land. Like they got a couple good players, but not enough good players. And the good players they have are way too expensive to move. And people are like, how much do I want that guy? I don't know. So that seems like where they're at. Gail jumping in here saying, go get Cooch. We gotta
unanimous.
Got to pick him up. So Gail knows. He knows what's up. And actually, Toast, now that we just Gail jumped in there in the chat, let's jump into some listener league and home talk. Here we go.
It's Weekend Update with Colin Jost and Michael Che.
So we got the listener league going this year. Toast, why don't you give us a recap of kind of where we're standing at? Let's I'm gonna let you talk about it so Aaron has a second to think about how much he wants to brag right now. So you give us the recap right now of the start of the listener league. Then we'll jump into some home league, and we've got some like interesting trades, some things we've seen go down, some things that might go down, and we'll jump into some of those here in a minute. But once you jump in here, Toast, and talk about the listeners league.
Well, thanks a lot, JT. Talking about the freaking listeners league when Aaron Tomatich is 4-0. I was hoping we'd just skip over this segment altogether. I don't really want to talk about it. He's been like puffing his chest up, like talking shit. I'm kind of sick of it. I really am, and I can't wait to actually play him head to head. And I'm actually going to shut his trap. Is what I'm going to do. My team's 3-1. I'm right behind him, and Jeff Daylor's 3-1. King McCard 3-1, and hey, our buddy carving up ice, Brian Douglas, also 3-1 with some dude also Pucky Puckerson 3-1. Really, really top heavy with these 6 teams. JT, you're hanging on at 2-2. All right, and I noticed JT, you hadn't really made a whole lot of moves, right? So got to get in there, got to be active. And tell you guys,
I'm in the dynasty mindset.
Yeah, I know.
Where we can't make a ton of moves because we only have so many per year, and we only have so many guys out there. I just looked at it and I was like, oh, I need to pick up and drop a few guys. I got behind. I ended up with like 10 less plays last week. Totally screwed me. So I got to get back on picking that up. Pucky Puckerson just snaked by me, just got me by like 3 or 4 points last week or the week before. We had a battle, and I was down on the plays. I didn't have enough plays in the week, so I gotta get those plays up.
Well, but the big thing I want to talk about in the listeners league here, and I think we've kind of, Aaron, I know you and I ribbed them hard last week, and the week before, JT, you were here, we actually did as well, but do we need to have an intervention for Jorge? Do we need to get him some help? I mean, he's a 1-4. Do we need to try to help our guy out? Because we don't want him to get soured on fantasy hockey. We want him to actually be here for the long haul, even though this is a redraft league. And 0-4 isn't a great start, and I want him to have a good experience. So I think there needs to be an intervention. No, in all seriousness, which I am kind of serious about that. Aaron, I'm coming for you. Great start there. This listener league has been a lot of fun. I will say there hasn't been a single trade in the listeners league yet. And I think, again, we're all getting to know one another. We're all letting our teams settle in. But I will be actually making some deals there soon. But there's a couple guys I want to talk about in this league, JT. And one of them is a pretender. And second in the league in that
Jorge's
scoring.
On. He's a laugh out loud. He's like, all right, Toast.
Yeah.
He says, I'll take whatever help you can offer.
It's again, it's an intervention. It's an intervention, so we'll help.
He's been out of the hockey game for a long time. He's a hockey fan. He's got the awesome jerseys on the wall in the basement. He's been bringing in those old Cap jerseys. He's got a couple old Mighty Ducks jerseys he put. So he's just working his way back in. Sometimes it takes a little time.
Well, and the guy I want to talk about in that league, if we're talking about scores in the league and our top 10 scores, but this will lend us to actually talk about a couple players here in general as well, is Kiefer Sherwood. I mean, he's second in the league in scoring, and this is a light bangers format. All right, we actually start, 3 defensemen, 2 utilities, 2 centers, 2 left wing, 2 right wing, 5 bench, 1 goalie. It's a kind of a small roster, and Kiefer Sherwood of all people is actually second in scoring. 14 games, 9 goals, no assists. I mean, he wants to shoot or he actually wants to hit the crap out of you. It's one or the other, right? But obviously, this ain't going to be sustainable. But, I mean, in a Bangers league, Kiefer Sherwood, could you believe actually maybe somebody would actually go out and want to trade for a guy like that? It's insane. Any of you guys got any shares in Kiefer Sherwood, who is left wing and right wing eligible and still only 73% owned on ESPN?
Yeah, 29 shots on goal, got the 63 hits and the 12 penalty minutes. That's
Kiefer.
63 hits already. I mean, this guy is just headhunting.
I like this guy.
63 hits. That's crazy. We're like, what, 14 games in, 15 games in, depending on what team you're on? He's got 63 hits already? He's a forward? It's fantastic. I love it. Freaking love it.
Yeah, I mean that's like playoff type numbers. You know, we talked about it before, especially like when we warm up to go to the playoffs. The one probably biggest thing you notice, other than the speed of the game, players find that extra step, find that extra gear. But when they go into the forecheck, they dump the puck in, the forwards are then on it, and they really, really try to wear down those defensemen. This guy, Kiefer Sherwood, he plays like this 82 games a year. He plays that playoff intensity every game. It's one of two reasons why to maybe watch Vancouver this year. Quinn Hughes, that's just now back, worth a watch, and Kiefer Sherwood. Other than that, again, change the channel. It's just like the Rangers. But yeah, I mean, what can you say about this guy other than, even if he had 0 goals, which he has 9 tucks, he's getting his goals. Which I don't know if he's ever had 9. We'll have to look at his stats last year, but 9 goals, 63 hits. So yeah, wow, it's old school.
Well, and I want to point out 2 things we can get off Kiefer Sherwood. I can't believe we're even talking about him this long, but we are. Okay. Okay, 31% shooting percentage so far.
Yeah.
Aaron, I'm going to guess you're going to say that's not sustainable. Okay. But guess what? The hits, they are sustainable. He had 462 last year. Think about that. 462 in 78 games. I'm doing the math real fast, and that's about 6 hits a game.
That's crazy.
On average.
I think I'd be pretty sore at the end of the season.
I was just going to say,
well, shit, 78, and he scored 40 points in 78 games. I mean, he led our league in scoring in our Bangers League last year. I'm like,
I don't know how that just went right over my head last year. I just totally missed that he had that many hits last year in our league. And like you said, listener leagues, we're a light bangers, but in our home league, full on bangers league, man, he just was an absolute beast last year.
Gosh.
Wow. A 1-1 in an ultra bangers league. Who would have thought? But yeah, I mean, he's got to have stock in like Asper Cream or something like that. Can you imagine what this guy, this black and blue, just year round, he just must, or maybe he's one of those that just, they don't feel pain, like you hear about that, or you read that there's some, yeah.
Like,
right.
He's just like, what? Just sitting in the ice bath is like negative 30. He's like, it's fine. I'm fine.
Who's in town next? I'm ready to go. Put me out there. Oh
yeah, he wouldn't fear hard labor. And I tell you, we talked about Oliver Moore, 13.2 inches and just a freaking hose in his pants.
Yeah,
we talked about that, right? I mean, it's kind of like Sherwood, right? I mean, we'll just call him hoser. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. So, I actually chuckled myself today. I mean, I almost had myself crying, laughing so hard. That was funny. I was really impressed by Oliver Moore. Let's just say that.
So for everybody that doesn't get that right, with that was on the group chat for the hockey league. We were talking about Oliver Moore playing for the Blackhawks. So we'll leave that one be, so Jorge doesn't come on and tell us to bring it down a notch. We're not too late night just yet. So anybody else we want to talk about here in the listeners league before we jump onto the home league and talk about some trades, proposals and trades that have gone down in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, real quick, I do actually want to talk about one other player. Guys, want to throw out these stats here from last year, and I'll reveal the player. 39 goals, 48 assists, for 87 points in 82 games. 61 PIMs, 181 shots on goal for 21.5% shooting, and 73 hits, 60 blocks. He is a center for the Winnipeg Jets. And remember when we actually said last year, Mark Scheifele, like, he probably can't do that again, right? We were like, hey, I don't really know. At age 31, he'll come back to age 32 this year. Not sure if he can do it again. Guess what? He's doing it again. He's doing it again this year. 20 points through 12 games so far, 9 goals, 11 assists. He is shooting an absurd 30%. Absurd 30%. All right. That ain't going to be sustainable. And he's not hitting and blocking at the rate he actually was last year. But man, if you even got him in a Cats league as well, you know, he'll get you 50% at the dot. He's already won 100 faceoffs on the season, getting 20 minutes of time on ice. He is doing it again. This is a guy that probably had an ADP of somewhere around 30, 35, 40, 45, somewhere around there, maybe even 50. And he's playing like a top 5 player so far. So we didn't think he could do it again. He's doing it again. We are all very jealous. Actually, we didn't pull the trigger during this year's drafts.
Yeah, he's a guy that felt like he was dropping in drafts. People just were like, you know, and he's a guy that's dealt with injuries, you know, over his career. So people were like, hey, he went hard last year. The Jets played out of their mind. You just didn't know they could do it again if he could stay healthy. But hey, you took a shot on him. You're reaping the rewards right now because he's looked really, really good to start the season. And the Jets, again, a team we weren't sure about. We all talked like, we really like this team. We love Hellebuck, but we don't think they make the playoffs. And then they played insane last year, and we're like, can they do it again? So far, looking pretty good to start this season. Let's jump into our home league. Toast, we had some trade proposals. Let's talk about the possible trades, and then let's jump in. I've got them pulled up here, a couple of trades that have gone down the last couple of weeks, and let's review them now. We got a little time to think about them. You know, we talked about them, some of these trades on the show right when they happened or right around there. Let's go back and review them. But what are some trade proposals, some things out there we're looking at as far as the home league?
Well, I mean, first thing comes to mind, it'd be nice if my brother Gail would give us all other a chance to maybe do some trades ourselves. I mean, so, you know, he's actually wanting to kind of hog all the trading.
Gail has been working the phones. Like, Gail is on the red phone. He's got a red phone at his house. He's in the base on the red phone, just making phone calls left and right. Like, he is literally working he's working the trades. He's working everything right now. New addition to the league. He's making everybody else be like, oh, I got to up my game.
Yeah. Aaron, you may actually want to talk a little bit about these trades here, but I mean, all I'll say is during the season, there's been 4 trades so far in our league early on, and he's been involved in every single one of them. And actually, and he talked about it last week on the podcast, taking a roster that actually needed big help, inherited a roster in a dynasty league, and has really turned it over really quick. And actually, you look at the roster now, I'm like, it's a pretty good roster. It's not bad. So, and Aaron, talking about this and some other potential trades, I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah. I mean, really nothing to call out with you know that we didn't cover last week when Gail was on, and great job by him kind of walking us through his mindset. My favorite thing that he said was just, okay, so I did a couple of trades. I jumped into this as a rebuild. Then the game started playing. I noticed my score kind of going up. I'm like, yeah, you know, I could take a shot at this. And then his next trade wasn't necessarily a rebuild type trade. It was like a competitive trade, like a compete now type of trade. So that being said, it was a quick pivot. So, you know, whatever it is, whatever you want to call him, like, you know, like I think of the Wolf on Wall Street, the Jordan Schlansky, he's on there just working those phones, just talking those people into trades that maybe not benefit them, but he's coming out ahead. He's coming up all aces. So no, hats off. And that's again, the whole point of this is to show that I don't care what league you're in, what format you're in, you go in with a plan, or maybe you target a couple of guys, or we do it here where, like what Toast just did, we'll call out a player's number, we'll mask that player. At the end of that, you probably didn't guess that was Mark Scheifele he was referring to, but the point being that sometimes you look at the numbers, you take the name off the numbers, or like you're a guy like Gail, maybe a little bit newer to the NHL, or you're a guy like Jorge coming back in the NHL. Some of the names aren't right off the tongue like the three of us, but maybe that can help. Like if you're just looking at stats and numbers and shooting percentage and ice time and stuff like that, you crunch the numbers a little bit, you work that angle. And like I said, right now Gail's putting on a master class. He's out there wheeling and dealing, not afraid to text you. Not afraid to tell you. Let me tell you this right now. I probably got one in the hopper right here. He's probably got an idea for your boys team over here, but I'm not touching it because I've seen what has happened, and I'm set. I'm set for all my leagues, and yeah, I mean you guys know this. You guys are all usually. I'm looking back at you guys, so you know how it is. I mean, I'm always out front, but yeah, whatever.
Well,
not about me. It's not about me.
Hey, so Toast here, real quick, guys. Just to kind of give the people, if they've missed kind of what we've done, I'm gonna just do a little bit of a rewind for trades starting back this summer in our home league, kind of where we are, just to kind of throw some stuff out. We can maybe throw in your 2 cents of what you think about some of these trades. As we just talked about Shifley, I realized a trade happened this summer for him, so that's why I want to go back and look at this just a little bit. So early on, in the trade, let me pull them up real quick here. So we had actually, you know what I'm here? Hold on, guys. We're gonna pull it up here so everybody can see it. Let me do a little something here. Hold on.
Ooh, Aaron, this is
I know.
gonna make you mad. But hey, you know what, Aaron? I like
right,
making
so
you look
go.
bad. Yeah.
Does is like, what? He's like, hold on. He's like, hold on. Here we go. Sorry, so here we go. I've pulled it up. This is our Fantrax page for Home League. Let's take a look through a few of these trades and see what we've done. Because, hey, I was going back and looking at some interesting trades here. So to start off the year, Toast got things going, made a little trade with Gabe, Trouba for Norris. We talked about Norris early in the year. I almost traded for another league. Another trade here. 5-hole Tickler and Slewfoot. Gauthier to Rafael. Guy made the trade. That's a big one. You guys love that one. And then me and Toast made a trade. I gave up a second rounder. I got my guy ASP for Detroit. Young defenseman at the time. Didn't know he was going to make the starting lineup. He's on the second unit. He's looked real solid so far. So I love my move there with Toast. And then look at this. We got Lachenko and a second rounder from Long Live the Note. Slewfoot Schleifele on that one. So
what do you got to say for yourself, Aaron?
That one hurts there a little bit now. That one hurts. Aaron thought he made the early trade, got rid of him in case he was going to the down, but we'll see. You got a second rounder guy coming back on that. And that one hurts. And then Toast couldn't help himself. He had to go out and he had to get a Russian. So it goes out and gets Marchenko, gives up a 26-27 first. Kenton and Kent Johnson on that one. His whole nose needs some extra players, needs some picks. So trade there on that one.
Yeah, Berkeley Catton's going to hurt me on that one. I really did not want to give up Berkeley Catton, but hey, I'm thrilled with Marchenko. Yeah.
I knew you'd love him anyway. Then we got Whalers Dick Honey, Gale trading away a second and trading away a second for a third tier turn, and Gale making some trades there. We're getting everybody interested. So, I mean, we're making some moves out throughout the summer. These are trades back in June and July. So just give people a heads up where these are way before the season, off-season moves. But these are kind of the moves we're making as we're going through. So, again, Gale back in the mix. Trading Brock Nelson and Pasternak. So he's like giving a big-time guy, giving up to 5-hole Tickler for Bratt and Cooley. So making some moves there. Then we keep going on. Then I finally got in the mix. Gale was texting me every day. He wore me down. And I made a move. I love Kyle Connor. He's been one of my guys. This in our old school league before we went Dynasty, this was a keepers league, and Kyle Connor was my keeper forever. So I have a first, Drake Batherson, and Nico Hirscher for Kyle Connor. I still feel pretty good about that one. I feel like that was a pretty even trade throughout, so I get in there. And then we got the last couple moves here in the league. The big one, Gale and our buddy John McGlynn. McGlynn trying to get a little younger. He's playing the long game here. He gets my first round pick that I traded him last year. Takes the first, gets the first Baldic Matthew Schaefer, which he has. He's like, what do you think about Schaefer? Schaefer's on a tear. Got him, got Roman Kansurov for the Blackhawks, and then gave up Braden Point and Konechny. And then the last trade, Zabinajad for Barlow and Gridden. So what do you guys think? Like any of these trades you want to talk about? As you can see, Gale, Whalers, Dick Honey involved in almost every one of these trades throughout the time. These trades you want to look at, looking back, the ones back this summer, do you see one up that you think, hey, we want to just discuss because a lot of good moves here. And Gale is really showing this is the move. This is what you got to do when you take over a new team in a dynasty. You got to be ready. You got to be aggressive, right? You got to get out there and you got to make moves.
You know, God.
I can't get over that team name. I can't do it.
I'm so pissed that he got that team name and I didn't. You know, and I'm a big Weird Science fan. And you know, shout out and rest in peace, Bill Paxton. I mean, he's had some one-liners if I could ever remember it, man, and that was one of the best of all time. Gale said he actually has been looking for an old Whaler starter jacket. You know, the ones where you could put like a 12-pack of beer like in the zipper on the front. He's been looking for those online, and he found one, but some guy wanted $200 for it. He's like, I'm not doing it. But all I'll say is this, and we talked about it last week, is this is how you actually revamp a roster. In the event you look at all your big time pieces, and if you actually have, let's say, 3 or 4 can't miss players, and that's all you have, you got to start actually looking and going 2 for 1 on those, right? And that's kind of what Gale actually did, where he's like, he turns Heischer and Batherson and their first rounder into Kyle Connors, giving JT a great player. It's going to work for everybody. Gale's getting younger. He's actually getting more people. Same thing when he actually gets basically David Pastrnak and Brock Nelson as a throw-in. And it's a throw-in. Brock Nelson's a throw-in. So you got Pastrnak for Bratt and Cooley as well. You're getting younger, 2 players. And then also Matthew Schaefer and really Zach Bolduc's to throw in, even though he's not actually a slouch. And of course, Roman Kansurov. Remember that name. Roman Kansurov is actually lighting up the AHL right now. He is just a man possessed there as I want to say 21-year-old, which is really, really young for the KHL, and he's lighting that league on fire right now. Man, Chicago is just loaded with young talent right now. And he gets Point and Konechny. So you're basically giving Matthew Schaefer is the sure thing, and you're getting Point and Konechny 2 for 1 as well. And then you can kind of see that last move he actually had. It's different, right? It's a different move than the rest, as Aaron was alluding to. Now you're actually just rounding out the roster where you're actually sending Matt Gryden, who's a really, really good prospect in Calgary system. He came up for a cup of coffee, actually had a really, really good first 8-9 games. They sent him actually back to AHL. And Kobe Barlow as well for Mika Zibanejad. You only do that in the event that you're like, my roster's solid right now, and now I'm just trying to round it out a little bit, right? And so he went from rebuilding to win now, and the only way you can actually do that is you're unbelievably persistent. He's actually been that, right? Persistent, working everybody over, getting the roster where he actually needs to be, and it's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, you see what it looks like. This sheet looks like that JT's displaying. There's Whalers Dick Honey all over this page. So I couldn't resist, but yeah. No, we've already pumped his tires enough, man. This isn't the game.
We have. He's had enough for him.
Yeah, he's overrated.
Enough of this guy. Let's get rid of him. No, it's a big, great move. Just want to talk about that because, sometimes people hear about a trade here, trade there, but then when you want to talk about like, hey, really making a lot of moves, keep being persistent, keep making moves, maybe you slightly win one, maybe you slightly lose one, but you got to put the whole big picture all together. Because I think sometimes people are so worried about, like, did I win that trade? Like, winning that trade in this moment and winning that trade 6 months down the road or a year or 2 years down the road not always the same story, right? So sometimes you got to be like, hey, I'm willing to maybe take a little bit of a front if I think I'm going to make myself better in the future. So sometimes those are the type of things you got to do. So I think just a little bit of throwing it around of stuff like that. We did have a home league trade proposal. We wanted to kind of talk it through here. Toad's taking a quick break. He'll be right back. Aaron, let's talk this one through. Team A trades Igor Shesterkin, which we just were discussing, to Team B for Dylan Holloway, a first, or William Eklund in a first-round pick. Who wins this trade? What are the pros and cons? Which side are you on? Team B, just to give you the heads up, really in need of some goalie help. Team A, trying to get a little bit younger as a start one goalie league. What do you think about this possible trade?
Well, again, with all things being equal and with it being the home league, Bangers League, dynasty format here, so to kind of set the table a little further, for me, I'm really hoping I'm on the team that gets those players. I think so. Okay, like you said, Team B needs goalie help. They need goalie help. Shesterkin is not my guy. I think he's going to have some long roads ahead of him, some long years ahead of him. His defense, there's more than one line pairing that is atrocious in New York right now. I just see a long road ahead for this guy. I think he's going to get shelled. So I'm praying that Igor Shesterkin was my extra goalie to trade. And then I'm jumping at either one of these, either Billy Eklund in a first rounder or Holloway and a first rounder. I think that's a great return for that. I would do that in a second. If I was Team B and I needed the goalie help, I'm playing the goalie free agency. Yeah, they're a little dried up. I get it there, but man, I mean, look at Demko, his kind of resurgence. He's kind of fallen off a little bit, but there's always somebody there to fill that. There's somebody that we haven't even heard of that'll probably catch fire. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to come in and play. So if it's me, I'm playing goalie roulette. I'm not giving up that kind of talent for that guy. But that's just how I see that one for sure.
Toast, any thoughts on that possible trade before we hit into some possible waiver wire pickups to finish off the show?
Yeah, great minds think alike, Aaron. That's all I have to say about that. So I 100% agree with you. I'm definitely going with the skaters there. Unless I actually have every league's different, right? And that's what I say. Every single league is different. Now, let me ask the other question. I know we're coming up on an hour, and we're actually going to get to a couple pickups. We're going to make it right to an hour here. But let's say you had to start two goalies. That changes things, right? Yeah, it changes things. Sure. Because then they're like, hey, if I'm already thin at goalie and I have no goalies, then maybe that trade's actually looking really, really good for Team A, right? Yeah. Because you're like, I got to have a goalie, and somebody's going to give me Shesterkin, and I may be loaded at skaters. I'm winning, right? For me, my team, I'm winning. But that's why you got to look at your setup. And I think the question is you're starting one goalie, right? And you're starting one. And so you're right. I would agree with you. You could probably work waiver wire, but hey, if it's dried up and you go out there and like, gosh, there's not a single person out here I actually like. Nobody's actually any good. Nobody can even back up, like, let's say a Vasilevsky or anybody else that's of interest. I need this. Okay. It depends on the way the rest of your roster, way it's constructed. But I think all in all, if you're just looking at everything black and white, definitely I like that, getting those skaters for sure.
Yep.
But hey, as they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
All right, final segment of the night. Let's jump in. Let's talk about the schedule for the week. Nice matchups, guys, with a lot of teams with a lot of plays and possibly some waiver wire pickups. What do you guys like?
Well, I'll start off, Aaron, and if you want to maybe take a couple of these as well. But Chicago, it's got 4 games this week: the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. They're the cream of the crop as it actually comes to the schedule. And as a Hawks fan last night, I just want to say I watched that entire game last night, and really it was disheartening for the Hawks actually to really Played that game last night versus Seattle team, and the Hawks dominated that game, and they lost 3-1 on an empty netter. It was 2-1. They dominated that game, and really it was just a frustrating game to watch because they were the better team on the ice. They outworked Seattle as well, and it just actually just not come to fruition. Sometimes the hockey gods are not on your side, and there you go. But a guy who actually really showed out last night was Chicago. He's on line one with Bedard. He's on power play one as well. He's healthy for the first time in a while, and he's extremely fast on the ice and great with the stick. Andre Burakovsky is 13% owned, and he's off to a great start so far, 10 points in 12 games. He's going to be available in most formats, if not all formats, and he'd be a guy to definitely stream this week. Even if you're late to it, you can still get him for Wednesday, Friday, Sunday.
How about you, Aaron? Anybody you like this week?
Yeah, team wise, we got next. We got the Wild. They have 4 games as well. I was just looking up the score of the Wild. I know Kaprizov scored tonight, the $17 million man. But I was trying, my system's still loading here. It looks like I don't have the latest on that. Not sure if they won that or lost that. But again, with 4 matchups,
Currently we got 2-2. About 2 minutes left in OT. We got a couple games right down the wire here. Edmonton, Dallas just went in at OT 3-3. They're going to a shootout.
Another OT?
2 minutes left in Nashville, Minnesota 2-2. So we got ourselves some games tonight. A lot of OT games so far tonight. Now every game has been right down to the wire and close, other than the Rangers getting bitch slapped 3-0 by Carolina. Everyone else has been close.
Yeah. Well, Minnesota, I don't know if he's gotten on the line or if he's gotten on the score sheet tonight, but Johansson in Minnesota, only on 10% of the rosters out there with that's just a kind of a quick pulse take on all the leagues out there, either ESPN or Yahoo or whatever the format is. But 10 points in 13 games. He's on the top line with Rossi and Kaprizov that we know got on the score sheet tonight. And also he's getting some power play 2 times. So shout out there again, just a guy that's likely available. You'll have 4 games out of him, so might be worth a gamble there.
Yep, and one other player to plug in here, Calgary, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 3 games there. And even Detroit actually has a good schedule, Tuesday, Friday, Sunday. That Friday, Sunday matchup is actually going to help you. But Huberdeau has actually come on for Calgary. He's actually 7 points in 9 games. We know he's got really good deployment on a team that's really they have no business trying to compete. They should be rebuilding. But 3 goals in the last 2 games. If you're actually needing to just stream somebody so far, I think that he's going to be out there. He's 51% rostered. And JT, to end the show here, I just did actually ask our old Chat GPT and Grok.
We got to talk about my boy, right?
No, we don't really care about him, but but sure, you go ahead if you need to. No, JT, you go ahead and talk about him. I want you to talk about him
real quick. If you have not picked up Emmett Finney yet, go out and get Emmett Finney, man. 30% roster,
Yeah.
8 points in 13 games, playing about 17 minutes a game. Top line with Larkin and Raymond on power play 1. He has been phenomenal. The 7th round pick rookie is usually people are like, Wings fans are like, I just hope he makes the roster. He's looked really good. I just want to make the roster. He's not even on the roster. This guy is playing big minutes and playing with the top dogs. He's looked so good so far. Go get Finney. I just picked him up in our listeners league. Grabbed him today, playing him tonight. But also, if you're in Dynasty, go get Finney right now. Especially he's a guy as a rookie. You can move him up and down off your minors every day. So definitely a guy you want to have.
Okay. Yeah, and I just did actually ask Grok about if this is more overtimes actually played this year in the league than normal, and surprisingly, no. Usually the league will play right around 25% of all games played throughout the entire season actually go to an OT. So this year it's right at 24.5%, so it's right there. But it's been a lot lately. Again, 5 tonight. I think that percentage will actually go up. But start looking at the draw. Start looking at those games where you actually think that you got a good road team coming in, actually playing a team that actually is pretty good at home as well. 2 good teams. You may see a draw, right? And JT, I think you did get a Lightning and Colorado tonight at plus 310 was a draw, and these draws are actually looking a little spicy right now.
Yeah, everybody's tying tonight.
Yeah, they're
Wow.
tied 1-1. They're tied 1-1 at the end of one. Draisaitl just had an ridiculous, like triple deked him, and then just one-handed it with his hand up and tapped it in with a wild shot. It's 1-1 in the shootout between Edmonton and Dallas right now. Wild game. Great night of hockey. Tuesday night. Yeah. Feels like the weekend. Great night of hockey right now. But we're about at the 105 mark. That's going to do it for us tonight. Any final thoughts? Toast first and then Aaron.
No, I tell you what, it's been a great start to the season. Like you said, JT, the parity around the league besides 3 or 4 teams that are really bad is really good. I mean, everybody actually looks like this. They can actually compete night in, night out. It's been great hockey. I can't believe we're only, 15 games in, 14 games, whatever it may be. It's going to be an unbelievable season. Again, come visit us every Tuesday night, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. We're just getting started.
Yeah, and I'll just piggyback on that real quick. We talked about it at the top of the hour, top of the show. The young players can play. These kids that are getting drafted, your Celebrinis, your Schaefers, your Demidovs, these guys are competing. They're good. They look like they're just, the league's in a really good spot right now. All these teams are competitive and they're fun to watch. Early games, late games. It's not just the original 6 anymore. It's everybody. So yeah, tune in. Toast Takes is just printing money this year. JT's parlay, just hit up on those and have some fun with us. It's all a good time.
That's going to do it here on Around the Ice on Fantasy and Frames. Please like and subscribe. Go in there, give us a thumbs up. Go in, give us a 5-star review if you can. 4-star, we'll take 4 stars. Give us 4, we'll take it. Give us your feedback. Join us throughout the whole season. We'll be here Tuesday night. It's going to be a great year. Another good one, fellas. Thanks